Next song I would like to share with you is to do something a little different. I know that for people who love live instruments and live shows, like so many of us do, and now we are limited to this medium over the internet, which is pretty magical. By the way, there is human progress, and one of them is technology, I believe. I wanted to kind of walk you through how I built a song. This next song, called Birthing, as a working title, I wrote more or less maybe a week or two after the birth of my son. And I was so worried my whole pregnancy that becoming a mom will mean that I will not have any time for my music. And of course, as usually I find myself doing when I'm really scared of something, when I'm ready for it, I just kind of hit it straight on. And without even thinking about that, I coped with everything that just happened with having a newborn in my arms. I found myself in the studio, and the song more or less wrote itself. And I wanted to introduce how I built this song. I had a few things that I really felt needed to be expressed. One was I wanted that this piece had an otherworldly sound, and I've always loved the pan flute, which is a wooden flute. So I sat by my computer, nursing baby in one arm, and I looked for a pan flute, a wooden flute. Couldn't find it, but I found a woodwind. So I'll kind of take you through how I built this song. So I found an instrument I loved, and I'll just turn it up for a little bit so we hear it. So I opened up the song with a woodwind, but what I wanted to do is I wanted that it was as if a memory of this flute that existed infinitely. And so I recorded the delay that you will hear now. There's a delay. That is the left and right sound. What I did is I recorded this delay and I opened up the song with it. So we never hear the flute until much later in the song, but we do hear, but the song opens up with the delay. So I just come from this otherworldly space. Another instrument I really love is the harp. Harp is hard to find players to play harp. I only know personally one in Holland. Of course I couldn't find harp again, but I found something that sounded very close to a spinet. Spinet being used in classical music that I love and grew up with. Many of you might be familiar with how Mozart used it. And so here is a harp that I introduced. So just very subtle, because I wanted this song to be very, very simple. And I wanted it to be a journey, just as birthing was a journey for me. And then I knew I'm looking for a melodic instrument, and I just found this Times. It's a kind of dreamy keyboard. So that is my instrumental part of the song. Then for a beat, I wasn't very concerned. But what I did is something I do every time. I have been, ever since the beginning I became an artist and a producer, I've been interested in my voice as an instrument. And so in this song, my only beat that I have created while I was really writing this song was I used my voice. So I'll just solo my voice, where I just do hums, and those are just my beat. And I keep it very simple, and I keep these hums. Later on I build them, and I introduce a real kick drum, which is an electronic kick drum I choose. One element I wanted, besides the dream space that the instruments are doing, I really wanted to go straight to the heavy beat, to this kind of sense of grounding that I think was so essential for my birthing experience, at least. And then my midwives were so much trying to bring me back to every time, just really connecting down connecting to the roots of redwoods, connecting to the core of earth, whatever it is that you feel. And so when I knew my simple beat I was looking for, and so all I did is I just dropped in a very heavy battery beat. So I'll just play at the top of the song. Here we go. Straight from the beginning, we just stay with this beat. And that just keeps coming on the one. Okay. And then the last element is of course my voice, and I spoke of it as an instrument. Part of it is of course these kind of non-human sounds that I'm really interested. And there are two additional things that I did in this song. One that I do pretty much every time. In trying to use my voice as an instrument, I heavily use effects. I think of effects as another instrument. So let's say I have brought in now a flute because I have affected my voice very heavily and maybe prolonged the notes. In this song, what I did is I looked for something which would help me with those hums, which are my rhythmic piece. And later on in the song, I looked for something that would send my voice an octave and another octave lower, and add a delay. It was really cool found, and I'll just let you hear it. I think that we have it on now. So, okay. And then the last thing I did in this song that I have always kind of wanted to play with, and it's something that I will probably experiment further, that is that I wanted to sing both in English and in Czech, one of my other languages. I'm not proficient enough in my Dutch to do it, but the Czech is really close to my soul, obviously. That's what I was born with. And while growing my newborn, my baby, and giving birth to him, I really felt a strong wave of coming back to my homeland. And I've always been intrigued when people use two different languages in their songs, because I think what it does for me is when I don't understand the language, I much faster exit my thinking brain and enter my emotional experience with the musical piece. One of the artists I love who does that is the Icelandic Björk. I don't speak Icelandic, so the moment she swaps to Icelandic, I just go directly to the sonic landscape and the tonal experience and emotional imprint the song leaves on me. So in the song I played with that, and I hope that this also means that some of my Czech fans and friends who hopefully can listen even though it's late at night get to understand a little easier parts of this song. This song is right now in the hands of my mentor Eric Freeman from Boston. He's one of my dearest friends and collaborators, and I sent him this song to just check out and reflect on the structure, as I always do with a few friends, because I think that as a solo woman creator, it's really important to get different inputs from different people on any given piece. And he loved it, and so he's adding some love to it, and I just can't wait to hear it. So as of right now, this is the draft of a birthing song, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in. My mind and my body dancing, arm in arm, my body and my mind hurting, arm in arm, my mind and my body in the space. nananay samsama